milk that is watched from the time it leaves the cow. And it was so important to these parents that their children enjoy fresh milk that they went to this considerable effort 2, sometimes 3 times a week. I was struck by their determination to keep the laws of kashrut in such a difficult environment. A year later, while covering a National Havara Committee retreat in New Hampshire, I sat with a group of young Jews active in the independent minyan movement. The Indie Minions, as they are called, are a loosely knit collection of lay-led prayer communities run by and for Jews in their 20s and 30s. In their efforts to be welcoming to all, they explained to me many of them follow a 2-table system of kashrut at their potluck meals. One table is for vegetarian food that carries Kosher, or kosher certification, and one table is for vegetarian food that does not carry such a label. Thus, everyone can bring food, and everyone can eat food, no matter his or her observance level. Radical inclusiveness tempered by a 21st century sensitivity to religious belief. Seeing, on one hand, the lengths to which a Hasidic family will go to keep kosher in Ukraine, and on the other hand, the determination of young Jewish social justice activists to honor Jewish tradition while excluding no one, I was struck by how broad the spectrum of Jewish sacred eating has become. Kashrut is different in America than it was in Europe. For the first time in history, Jews have a choice as to how we express our Judaism. We are neither pushed into it by outside pressure, nor compelled by internal religious authorities. And in that choice is contained all the complexity and nuance of modernity. The kashrut system brings an ancient world of tribal ritual to bear on contemporary sensibilities of inclusivity, pluralism, and the search for meaning. Can the two coexist? Can 2,000-year-old laws of kosher slaughter bring meaning to the daily life of a 21st century American Jew? As Jews changed the ways they looked at kashrut, so did America change its relationship to kosher food. The kosher food industry, once the province of this country's small number of observant Jews, has expanded way beyond the population that might be presumed to support it. How did that happen? Why do 1/3 to 1/2 of the processed food products in American supermarkets carry kosher certification? Why do Tropicana and Coca-Cola go to the enormous expense of making their products kosher for Passover every spring? Who's buying all this kosher food, and why? Kosher food and the kosher food system started out as Jewish and, like other immigrant food traditions, have become American. That's what this audiobook is all about. I'd like to acknowledge the many people who have gone out of their way to help me during the 18-month endeavor of researching and writing this audiobook. The rabbis and staff at the Orthodox Union, the OK Kosher Certification, and the Star K Kosher Certification opened their doors to me, answering persistent questions with grace and patience. I'd particularly like to acknowledge Don Yoel Levy, Chaim Fogelman, and David Stiegman at the OK, Menachem Genak, Eliyahu Safran, Seth Mandel, Avraham Stone, Moshe Perlmutter, and Chaim Goldberg at the Orthodox Union, and Avram Pollack and Zvi Rosen at the Star K, along with numerous kosher supervisors in the field who allowed me to tag along as they climbed into flour tanker trucks, hosed down vats of boiling grape juice, and inspected miles of ice cream bars in factories from rural Pennsylvania to Shanghai. Yaakov Yarmoth, Yaakov Horowitz, Yitzhak Galor, Yaakov Vaughn, Reuven Nathanson, Yosef Eisen, Chaim Davids, and Mordechai Grunberg require special mention here. My heartfelt thanks to Derova Kimmelman-Block, Roger Studley, Shalom Cantor, Andy Kastner, Eitan Mizrahi, and the folks at Hazon and the Isabella Friedman Jewish Retreat Center for allowing me to witness a new kind of kosher slaughter, one that hopefully will flourish in the new century. Eli Rosenfeld, Marcia Mogolansky, and Menachem Lubinsky gave me crucial insight into the world of kosher marketing, and Professors Joe Regenstein at Cornell University, David Kramer at the Jewish Theological Seminary, and Jeffrey Gurok at the Yeshiva University helped me navigate the history of kashrut in America. Many other people allowed me into their homes, their kitchens, and their workplaces.